You know how you'll go to the market, buy all the groceries and electronics you've been dreaming of? I'm talking blender, fridge, air fryer, only to wake up the next morning and realize that the brand new refrigerator you bought has mysteriously transformed into a microwave that doesn't even heat? You stand there, receipt in hand, wondering how life did you dirty like that. Funny, right? But today's story isn't about groceries and electronics. It's about a man who worked for love, got betrayed on his wedding night, and still came out stronger. His name? Jacob? His story? Whew. Grab a seat. Jacob was that guy who fell in love so hard he could write love letters in his sleep. And on arriving to Haran, there comes Rachel walking up with confidence, beauty, and grace. Bible said she was beautiful in form and face. Jacob's heart started playing worship medley. You could say that it was love at first sheep sight. Rachel, very beautiful girl, no hardworking, graceful, that kind of beauty that makes you forget your password. The moment Jacob saw her, he didn't need prophecy. He knew this was the one. He didn't even wait. He went straight to the well, rolled away the heavy stone, which normally takes 3 men, watered her sheep and said, "Hi, I'm Jacob, your cousin." Rachel's heart probably skipped a beat too. She ran home to tell her father, "Daddy, our relative Jacob is here." Laban came out, hugged Jacob and said, "You're my own blood." Jacob started living with them. 1 month passed, but there was a little issue. Rachel's father, Laban. That man could have won Manipulator of the Year. Jacob went to Laban like, "Sir, I'll work for you 7 years if you let me marry your daughter Rachel." And Laban smiled that suspicious uncle smile. 7 years? Laban said, "Deal now." Most guys today can't even wait 7 business days for a reply to their DMs. But Jacob, this man worked 7 years in the hot sun, herding sheep, sweating love letters, dreaming wedding dreams. Now 7 years of hard labor in those days was not a joke. No salary, no weekend, no AC. Just heat and sheep. But love was fueling him. The Bible said, the 7 years felt like only a few days to him because of his love for her. Imagine that kind of love. Every day he'd wake up early, feed sheep, chase wolves, fix fences, and each time he saw Rachel passing by, it was like a recharge. Finally, the 7 years were up. Jacob went to Laban. "Sir, time is up. Give me my wife. Let me marry her." Laban said, "Of course. Let's have a wedding." The village gathered. Music, drums, dancing, food. Everything was premium. Jacob was smiling from ear to ear. The bride was covered with a thick veil, custom of the time, so you couldn't see her face. Night came. Candlelight, music fading, guests gone. The bride entered the tent. Jacob overjoyed, thinking, finally after 7 long years. The next morning, sun peeked into the tent. Jacob stretched, turned to greet his wife, and froze. "Wait! Who are you?" The woman smiled shyly. "I'm Leah." Jacob jumped out of bed like someone that saw a ghost. "Leah? Where's Rachel?" He ran straight to Laban's house, shouting, "Uncle! What did you do to me? I worked for Rachel, not Leah." Laban looked calm, too calm. "Oh, my son, here in our land, the younger daughter cannot marry before the older one." Jacob's face was red. "And you didn't think to tell me 7 years ago?" Laban smiled again. "Don't be angry. Finish Leah's bridal week, then work another 7 years, and you'll get Rachel too." Now pause. Imagine working for 7 years, dreaming about someone only to wake up beside their sibling. That's betrayal on 4K HD. But Jacob didn't quit. He didn't fight or curse God. He stayed. He worked another 7 years for love, not because he was stupid, but because he understood something deeper. Sometimes the right promise still requires extra patience. Jacob finally got what he'd worked 14 years for Rachel, the love of his life. Beautiful, radiant, graceful, the kind of woman you look at and your stress reduces by 30%. But remember Leah, the one he didn't plan for but still married first? Yeah, she was still in the picture. Now imagine 2 sisters married to the same man. I don't know who needs to hear this, but that's not a recipe for peace, that's a recipe for drama. At first, Rachel had Jacob's heart, but Leah had what Rachel didn't, and that's children. One by one, Leah kept giving birth. Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah. Meanwhile, Rachel was watching like, so it's baby making season now? The tension in that house could have powered a generator. Rachel started feeling jealous, and it's understandable. The one thing she wanted most, she couldn't have. She said to Jacob, "Give me children, or I'll die." And Jacob was like, "Wait, am I God?" So Rachel did what people often do when they feel left behind. She tried to take control. She gave her maid Bilhah to Jacob, like, "Okay, let her have kids for me." And boom, babies started coming. Then Leah, not wanting to be outdone, gave her maid Zilpah too. Next thing you know, kids were popping up everywhere. Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher. It was like a baby boom reality show in ancient times. But deep down, both women were struggling, not with each other, but with insecurity. Leah wanted love. Rachel wanted validation. And Jacob, he just wanted peace. But here's the beautiful turn. One day, God remembered Rachel. She conceived and gave birth to a son, Joseph. And that boy wasn't just any child. He was a symbol of hope, a reminder that delay isn't denial. The same Rachel who cried, prayed, envied, and waited finally held a promise in her arms. Share how this story resonated with you in the comments below, and let us know which Bible story you'd like us to tell next. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more.